Hi everyone, it's day 12 of my 77-day live video challenge. Now, I know the last few days I have been talking about being an army brat, but hey, I've got so much to share about that because it's really been something that has defined my life. One of the things that was a good and a bad thing was starting new schools every 2 or 3 years. Some years were great because you got into a school and you made some friends right away, but there was one year that was really not good at all. We moved from Arizona. My dad was stationed in Fort Huachuca. We lived on the economy, which means we actually lived where the civilians lived, not on base, and we lived in Huachuca City. So I left that 6th grade class. We moved to Germany. We couldn't get into housing right away, so we ended up moving in with my grandmother. I just realized my glasses are going to go dark here because the sun's streaming in. But anyways, so we moved in with my grandmother, and for 3 months, I had to start a 6th grade class for 3 months while we waited for our military housing to get ready. Now, I just wanted to show you a picture. This was my 6th grade class in Gelnhausen. So this was where my grandmother, near where my grandmother lived. She lived in Salmünster, Germany. So we lived there and then we went to school, only for 3 months. Now, if you can see right here, I look very unhappy, and I was. This was my very first day of starting school in this class, and when I first walked in, I was quite happy to walk in. One of the guys in this photo, and I'm not going to point out who it was, he commented, "Oh my God, another fat girl with glasses." And I was so unhappy about that. And you can see the expression on my face. And of course that day, well, guess what? That day we had to take photos. And so I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy the whole day. But that experience made me more than ever want to make sure that he would be my friend, that he would just be my friend. So I was nice to him for 2-3 weeks, and within that time period he realized I actually was quite a nice girl. Even though I was chubby, I was actually quite nice. So we actually did become friends. And after we moved, after I went 3 months of schooling here in Gelnhausen, I had to go to another school. So 6th grade was 3 different schools. So I went 6th grade to that school, and thankfully we were living in Butzbach in the military housing. I ended up getting to go to a junior high for 3 years. And that was when I went to Giesbach Junior High, and I was there for 3 full years. So 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Now, during this time, I met a friend there who would be one of my lifelong friends, and I've just reconnected with her. Recently, we went to Giesbach together. We also went to Ellison High together in Texas, and then we have been friends. I mean, of course, we haven't kept in touch a lot, but you know how it is when you reconnect with an old friend. It's like, it just feels like yesterday. And so she is my longest all-time friend. I met her when I was 11 or 12, and we're still friends to this day. So more than 40 years later, and I'm so grateful for that. Because one thing I didn't like, I must admit, about being a military brat is we weren't able to form those friendships like from kindergarten on up. My son, he still hangs out with his kindergarten friend, and he's going to be 25 this year. So I think that's kind of cool. You know, you get to grow up with your kindergarten friend. But my friend who I met, her name is Alecia, and I'm just so grateful that we are still in each other's lives. So yeah, so I met her when I was 11 or 12, not really sure, and we still keep in contact to this day. Not all the time, but you know, an occasional text message and whatever. But that means a lot to me. But so I just wanted to share that. So that was one of the things about being a military brat, which probably was good and it wasn't good in a way. Starting new schools could be a great experience, but then there were also those experiences that weren't so great. So that was one thing that that was a bit difficult. But I think it's made me be a much better person, and I'm resilient and all that jazz. Anyways, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're here listening, and I'll be here tomorrow, day 13. See ya.